You know, sometimes it can feel like everybody on YouTube is just a copycat of somebody else. But in 2017, 3 friends reminded us that original content still exists.
Orange Creator! Ronnie Radke's Big Red Rat!
I'm talking about Sugar Pine 7.
We're ready.
3 friends, once with vibrant online prospects. What went wrong? From 2017 to 2019, Sugar Pine 7 proved that quirky, weird, and a little Alfredo behind the camera could be the perfect formula for online entertainment. It wasn't just content. You could say it was an alternative lifestyle.
What's up? Dude, I look like a gay pirate.
Though as soon as they came into our lives, it was just as soon that they would erode away. Like a fleeting comet, the lifespan of a YouTube channel is very unpredictable. While some have lasted for nearly a decade, others burn bright only to burn out. But to figure all this out, we gotta take a Bill and Ted Excellent Adventure all the way back to where it truly began. Now, it may not seem like it from any of their videos, but there was a period where Steven, James, and Clayton didn't even know each other existed, though their fates intertwined. Steven Suptic, a man who has had as many channels as he has had haircuts.
Many of them were bad decisions.
Back then, he was already churning up some of that YouTube nostalgia.
Why do they call it a lighthouse?
Because it emit light.
Are you sure it's not because it only weighs a few pounds?
MLG Haunt was his name, and Minecraft was his game.
Ha! That was a good one.
Now that is some cringe miss magic if I've ever seen it. A past now firmly erased. Yeah, good try, Steven. You may try to take away your past, but you can never take away the Wayback Machine. It has it all. From 2012 to 2015, this was his life. Though eventually moving to LFA, hosting a new gaming show thanks to Philip DeFranco, Super Panic Frenzy, with friend Raina Scully. Excited to make a career based solely on Minecraft for the rest of his days. Or so he thought. Meanwhile, up to our neighbor in the north, Canada, Clayton James, seen here really showing that water who's boss, was also dipping his toes into the YouTube pond with Minecraft. Under the alias Sibception. I see what you did there. In 2012, Kib meeting Steven and the two becoming very fast friends. But where was James DeAngelis? While these 2 other misfit kids were dawdling off trying to find diamonds in Minecraft, James was following a more proper path, as my mother would say, earning his Bachelor of Arts in Cinema from the University of San Francisco, eventually getting a studio tech job at SourceFed. That'll be important very soon, because that's when it happened. Remember when I said Steven was excited to play Minecraft forever? Well, I'm not sure he was thinking clearly, because after a year of SPF, that endeavor burned and crashed into the ground. Steven now taking a full-time position at other Philip DeFranco golden child, you guessed it, SourceFed. A channel that would turn out to be a bit of a gilded cage, shiny and glamorous on the outside, but underneath corroding and rotten. This is where Steven met other friend James DeAngelis, eventual fiance Alyssa Terry, and soon-to-be SB7 editor and girl that puts up with all their BS, Autumn. SourceFed proved to be a breeding ground for talent, one that maybe had stretched itself too thin. By 2017, a number of revisions and spin-offs, new hosts, clash and clutter, eventually led to a big burnout as it just wasn't a viable company anymore. And so, whew, like a candle burned at both ends. This left Steven, James, and Autumn in quite a conundrum.
It was interesting to see what they had planned for the future.
I don't know what I'm gonna do now.
But from ashes, there came new birth. Okay, so you live in LA, you're unemployed, and you're basically back at square one. What do? Well, Steven knows. Not new to overcoming adversity, an opportunity presented itself in his brain. You could say he had come up with an alternative lifestyle, taking Kib, James, and Autumn with him over to his channel, The Steven Suptic Experience. Everything you thought about online entertainment was about to be flipped on its head.
all, dude.
Though hold on, this top dog internet mockumentary series wasn't actually what started it all for them. Does anyone remember Antisocial?
Science, nature's math. It gives you undisputable facts about the universe. One fact in particular is that people tend to think they're more attractive than they really are. Except for me. I'm pretty hot.
A show comprised of then channel regulars Parker, also a Minecraft OG, Jordan, Kib, and James, poking fun at the very popular social experiment content found all around YouTube, but adding a unique spin of comedy sketch features to each episode.
Everything okay? You doing good?
Yeah, doing fine.
This show would lay the groundwork for what was to come. Well, now I think this is a good point in the video to take an extracurricular activity. How about a camping trip?
Maybe you're thinking to yourself, why are you renting a minivan?
Oh, it's automatic.
Well, the simple answer is to pick up all of my friends for a camping vacation.
Just a couple friends going up to the local cabin. What could go wrong? Hey, get down from there! Hey, get down from there, you stupid mother! Now, not the official first video to the alternative lifestyle series. It was the beginning of a new phase of their lives. Sugar Pine 7 was conceived. Aw, he even has Kib's eyes. Renaming the channel to Sugar Pine 7 after the name of the cabin that they stayed at in this very episode. And at this point, none of them could foresee just how great it was gonna get. Finding Sugar Pine 7 in my feed was like finding the golden goose. If you're a fan, you will know what I'm talking about. And if you're not, you better watch season 1 now. It was unlike any other content on the platform. Unique and utterly ridiculous.
After I smoked a little crack, it was time to roller skate. And now for the top.
And I quote, a freeze-frame narrated hyper-surrealist improv-based comedy that uses the vlog format as a vehicle to promote a character-driven story. Playing very hyperbolic characters of themselves, they made some memories.
I just thought you weren't allowed near playgrounds.
I'm technically allowed on this side of the playground. I just can't be there at night with my shirt off, screaming, "Father, please."
For many, consuming their content on the daily became just part of your routine. The official start of the first season coming with episode SourceFed is canceled. The plot following Steve after losing his job at SourceFed, he begins to document his life living in Los Angeles with his eccentric friends Kib, James, and Parker. Eccentric being an understatement.
Oof. Pretty good. All right then. What the fuck? I'll fun here if you're fun here.
The best part about their series as a whole was it just felt like they were just friends hanging out, vlogging their journey through this crazy timeline that we call life. And you were right there with them. Season 1 firmly introducing these exaggerated, crazy cast of characters. Kib, the wild child free spirit genius.
We plug this in somewhere? Are you serious? Dead serious, deadly serious, golden serious, always serious, never not serious.
That's just a cord that you plug into a wall.
Parker, the strong man.
Pull me up, pull me up.
What are you talking
Grab my hand, James, grab my hand.
Okay, all right, wait.
Grab my hand.
$5.
Who had a little bit of a thing for Kib's girlfriend at the time. James DeAngelis, former military man. His 38 years in the military, starting at age -13, being the youngest ever in the armed forces, whose character before joining Sugar Pine 7 was secretly being drafted by NASA. Of course, there was also Autumn, the editor, an amazing artist, though later, sadly, becoming deaf.
Ever since we realized that Autumn actually is deaf, we've been trying our hardest to bring back her sense of hearing.
All right, Autumn, so I know your hearing was taken from you because you accidentally prayed to the god of Ra, which everyone knows if you pray to the god of Ra, he takes your hearing.
I didn't know
That god of Ra will F you up. And lastly, Steven, narrator and man who wisely once said, I wanted macaroni tonight, but all I'm getting is turned up. Their series was an overnight hit, and the audience wasn't the only ones to take notice. Coming mid-season, it was announced that they would partner with online media giant Rooster Teeth, a decision that later in this story will become very important. Now, under new management, this relationship gave them abilities to collaborate with other people in the Rooster's Nest, such as Cow Chop or Funhouse, the team eventually moving into an office of their own, becoming a mini hub. The show even catching the gaze of other companies, even some that would say, hey, we could do that. Hey, you're a fan, here's some trivia. What other company took Alternative Lifestyle's format without as much as a howdy ya do? Was it E, BuzzFeed, F, Cocomelon, G, IGN, or H, Cut? Put your answers in the comments down below. Season 1 would solidify their comedic model. Also with the introduction of reoccurring fictional characters such as fan favorite, Alfredo. Quirky cameraman, intellectual philosopher, and like the sauce, he can be a bit sticky.
Another day in the majesty. The world is mine. Oh.
No, not much is known about this mystery man from Schlichtstone, China. He was never afraid to share his opinions.
What's not with that stupid ass face?
Man, you should go back to Germany if you're gonna act like that.
Sorry, they're all mean there. I don't know why I'm so honored.
Alfredo, instantly a crowd favorite, but who later in the series would disappear. Though the show wasn't without drama.
What are you doing, man?
A love triangle forming between Kib, his significant other, and Parker. What could go wrong with that?
I can't believe that Steve murdered Parker like
Don't pin it on me.
Oh, poor Parker. Okay, for real though, the end of season 1 would be the end in some sense for character Parker, moving from show regular to recurring, leaving partially due to the new company's relationship with Rooster Teeth, as Parker was involved with the various business arrangements for Sugar Pine 7, which frankly was no longer needed. That, and he had his own obligations with Disney. Even so, Pine was on the rise. Alternative Lifestyle winning Show of the Year in 2017 at the Streamies. It seemed like anything was possible. I remember at one point seeing them at VidCon and just thinking to myself how stupidly brilliant they were. You knew they could never fail. Or so we thought. Now, after curing Autumn's deafness with the Hear Good 2.0, Season 2 was off to a bang, taking on more cinematic shots and dramatic storytelling. At the same time though, this was really no longer just a channel of friends making videos. It was a company in and of itself, with a bottom line, and they needed to tow it. So they would go beyond their current format, creating digital shorts, such as The Woods, where after what was supposed to be a fun night to connect with old friends, the group is stranded in the woods, unable to call for help. The woods, where no one can hear you scream. Probably. Branching out, they started the Beyond the Pine podcast. They did music videos, and some real cringe involving pedestrians.
Training him how to have a mustache because it's not working out.
I'm not here to serve you. I'm here because I'm trying to find people.
Things haven't worked. That's
Truly one of a kind. It seemed like all was well in the Sugar Pine household, but as time rolled on, it would eventually catch up to them. Alternative Lifestyle brought their channel to life. A couple friends, a couple bikes.
What more could you ask for, right?
4 seasons in total, but nothing good can last forever. You can only do the same tropes and concepts for so long without it either burning out the audience or burning out yourself. So they began exploring new ideas, moving away from some of the improv and becoming more scripted. And some enjoyed these new alterations and others did not. Even so, I'm not sure anyone saw what was coming next. Beginning the year of 2019, longtime editor and personality Autumn leaving the group to move over to other Rooster Teeth partner, Funhouse. As the year rolled on, something had changed. Views began to dwindle somewhat. Was there something behind the scenes going on that on camera we couldn't see? All of this coming to a head.
We are no longer employees of Rooster Teeth.
The reason for their swift kick out of the Rooster Teeth family still a mystery.
We were contractually obligated to not say anything and not be dicks and allude to anything.
But there were hints speckled throughout this podcast.
For the longest time was us as friends. It became a business. It became more of a legitimate business. The way that it's affecting us personally is something that we've all tried to focus on.
The fact that now it wasn't just a group of friends making videos, that it was more. Steven explaining that once the project wasn't solely his,
A project not be mine fully is something that I'm not at a point in my life yet where I can work on it with the same consistency that I can if it is.
soon after this video, it was announced that the Alternative Lifestyle series would be coming to an end. Now, there's a lot of speculation on what else might have been going on behind the scenes to create such a decision, but at the end of the day, maybe it all was just too much to handle. This point supported as Autumn chimed in on Twitter saying she wished that they themselves had given SP7 more of a chance, but at the time weren't in the headspace to do it. But hold on, none of this depressing crap. The story doesn't end here.
Deal with it.
Sugar Pine 7 lives on, not just in each and every one of us who watched it, but also in their podcast, which has remained consistent for the last year. Their presence inspiring fans so much over the years that there may even be a Sugar Pine 7 video game. So what are they doing outside of SP7? Parker, Autumn, Alfredo, where are they now? Well, Parker Coppins, the first to leave the group as a regular on the show, has been quite the busybody. Hosting his own show on Disney XD called Parker Plays, he is now a full-time motivational speaker, discussing a variety of topics pertaining to today's youth, such as hard work, overcoming depression, and how to TikTok. Maybe not that last one. As for Autumn, longtime SP7 editor and personality, graduated to move over to Funhouse, where now fiance Bruce Green works, and eventually finding her current position heading Rooster Teeth's Inside Gaming. And though not much is known about the sexually charged Alfredo, or his disappearance for that fact, theories have surfaced that due to his more provocative nature, he may have been dropped from the show upon Rooster Teeth's request. Or it was very possible that he was written off of the channel as the show was changing its formats. Science doesn't have all the answers, but one thing is for sure, his voice will forever be ingrained in our nightmares.
The water's not warm, and neither's your edit, little boy.
Wait, what the fuck? As for Kib, after his Goodbye Sugar Pine 7 video, he left us with a lot of promises, including more sketch content with friend James DeAngelis. And though not posting for the last 9 months and otherwise staying pretty radio silent on all social media, I did speak to Kib privately in DMs. He himself alluding to something big on the horizon. If he sends me any further information, I will do an update video, so look out for that. James DeAngelis. A name I'm sure at one point in this video I mispronounced. He actually started a second channel under his name where he posts music content, including his music video, Go. That leaves Mr. Steven. Still working on the podcast, he also, on the side, has been developing his own music, releasing some EPs along the way under the pseudonym Sugar. What's next for Steven Suptic? Well, truly, only he knows that answer. While the Sugar Pine 7 we all grew to love may be partially in the past, they taught us about friendship, love, and some really cool handshakes. Who knows? If there's one thing I know about YouTube, you never know when the band might just get back together. Remember, I'm Ryan, and I'll see you in the next video.